Right, well, hello everybody, and I've got Rebecca Blott with me today from Castle Construction. Welcome, Rebecca.
Hi, Gavin.
Rebecca's going to be sharing with us some of her thoughts about business and some of the experiences that she's had. I've got a few questions for you, Rebecca, so should we get started and get straight in?
That'd be great.
Okay, so Rebecca, tell us a little bit about your business, what you do and why you do it.
So as you say, Gavin, I run a company called Castle Construction. I run it with my husband. We are specialised in structural and groundworks projects. The way I describe it to people is anything involving steel beams, concrete or a digger is probably a project for us. So that's our area of expertise. My husband runs the day-to-day operations and I'm responsible for business development and strategy.
Oh, fantastic. How long have you been doing that?
So the company's been running for 16 years, but I've only been actively involved for the last couple of years. The aim being to really sort of promote the business and push us forward and get growth.
There's a lot of businesses in the construction sector, isn't there? It's quite a crowded place. What do you think it is about your business that sets you apart from your competition?
So there are three things basically that set Castle Construction apart from the competition. The first one is knowledge. So we are, as I said, specialists in structural work and groundworks. You won't find anywhere on our website, no job too big or small. I think that's a myth and that's always a red flag within the industry. Of course, there are projects that are going to be too small for us. And equally, you know, we're not going to build a shopping centre. So we only take on projects that play to our strengths and are within our core area of expertise. The second thing is execution. So in our 16 years of running the company, we have a proven track record of being able to deliver projects on time and on budget. And we are adaptable to situations. From time to time, something crops up, for instance, that was unforeseen. So we did a project last year and there was a pipe that we discovered that even some water didn't know was there. So you have to adapt and be flexible. So our motto is sort of plan, plan, plan. And then the last area is professionalism. So every single phone call that comes into Castle Construction is answered. We underpin all of our work with a detailed contract and project plan. We have a stage payment scheme that gives visibility and clarity to our customers, and we track everything pretty much that we can electronically, which means that there's an audit trail of information. So it's those three things really: knowledge, execution and professionalism that really help us to stand apart from the competition.
That's really interesting, Rebecca. What I noticed from your answers is you clearly know your business really well. And I often find that business owners struggle to understand what it is that sets their business apart. But you obviously haven't got that issue. You're there and you know and you understand it. So I suppose
a lot of thinking, Gavin.
I suppose that brings me on to my next question, really, and that is, you know, what inspires you to do what you do? What inspires you to get up in the morning and do this work?
So construction isn't actually this is my second career, if you will. My background is actually technologies, and I left university with an engineering degree. And I feel passionate about raising professional standards in an industry that's perhaps a little bit behind the game in terms of other industries. The other thing that I feel really passionately about from a sort of personal level is being a positive role model for particularly other girls, but equally boys. I'm a mum of 2 daughters and a son, and I really feel strongly that we should have good role models in women, and that's something that I think is sadly lacking. I'm proud of what we deliver for our clients in terms of the quality of the end product and the service that we deliver them, and I'm proud to be creating a family business for my son and 2 daughters.
Wow, that's a really powerful response, actually, and clearly, well, we've been working together for some time, and I've always been aware of the sort of values that drive what you do. Would you say it's fair that you know, there's not a lot of women in this business, and maybe that's one of the reasons why, you know, you're motivated to try and include and help women to understand, I suppose, what they could bring to the construction sector?
Yeah,
too high.
I'm a great believer in sort of gender balance. I don't think that there's any industry or boardroom that fares particularly well by having, you know, a sway towards one gender or another, or even gender neutrality. we are starting to see more women coming into the construction industry, but you know, invariably, if you go to some of the forums and the meetup groups, of course we can't at the moment because of lockdown, but you know, some of the groups I've attended, you know, is disproportionately male, and I think that's a shame.
Yeah, no, absolutely, totally agree with you. Well, in that case, I guess I'd like to ask you if you could go back to the younger version of yourself and have words with yourself as you were starting out the business. What would you have to say?
The first thing I would say to myself is just go for it. As I said, this is my second career, and I guess there was a little bit of reticence about changing careers after having such a successful career in another industry. But you really do have to get stuck in, and don't be afraid to make mistakes along the way. You know, that's what helps you to grow as an individual and to develop your strategic thinking. You know, we've sort of changed and done a lot of thinking around who our customers are, what they look like, how to target them. And that's really through, you know, feeling your way out and talking to other people in the industry, and obviously talking to people like yourselves, Gavin.
That's fantastic. Okay, so that's your advice to your younger self. What advice would you have for other business owners?
So I guess what I would say to anyone thinking of starting a business is it's really, and you really need to think sort of hard about this, it's really not enough to be good at your job, whatever that job is, you know, whether you cut hair, whether you know, build extensions, or, you know, something else. It's not good enough to just be good at your job. You have to cover all bases. And if you think of, say, a corporation that has all of these different departments, they have an HR department, they have a finance department, they have sales, they have marketing. As a small business owner, you have to be able to cover off all of these elements. And if you can't cover them off, then you have to bring in that expertise. So you either have to sort of outsource it or bring it in yourself. So I guess that's the first thing that you really need to think about. The other bit of advice I would give is build your network as quickly as you can, because that will really help you both in terms of opportunities and advice. And then the last thing I would say is you really need to be prepared to work harder than you ever have before. And probably when you look at the number of hours that you put in and compare that to your revenue or your profit margin, you'll realize you're working for a lot less per hour than you would have done if you had a PAYE role. But it's definitely worth it.
I think that's fantastic advice, Rebecca, and it resonates with my advice as well to my clients about know how much you're paying yourself at your hourly rate, and then do something about it to push that rate up.
Yeah.
That's fantastic insights. Thank you for sharing those thoughts. And I wish you all the best for the future of your business.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you for letting me speak today.
You're welcome.